Hey everybody, I think I'm live. I know I'm a couple minutes early. Um, so it's kind of weird. First of all, Facebook's just weird. Um, I know I'm a couple minutes early. I hope that's okay. Um, I figured y'all know I can kill the time. And I figured better go early and um, fill the gap here. Okay, so this says I'm live. All right. Um, and with a couple extra minutes, I might be able to do all of our cards. Um, but Facebook's so weird because when I go live in StreamYard and I tell StreamYard to go live, but I haven't told Facebook to go live, sometimes I actually go live and I don't realize it. It's just all so strange. So I'm all on theme today. Wore my Lucy Grouchy since forever today. To stay on point with our Peanuts themed card making. So I'm super excited to be back with you all today and to do these cards. And I'm going to turn off my front facing camera for the time being because all you all really need to see is this. And I'm going to make it sure that I can see comments. So thank you, Tina. I actually just made this the other day. I've had this transfer since the release came out in February, but I just finally got around to making the t-shirt. So I was like, oh, I need to wear that today. So I had to wash it this morning and everything. All right, so I'm going to walk through what everybody had in their kits. And hopefully I have everything in mine. I do have kits available still, and I am giving one away today. So be active in that comments. Oh, yay, Laura Lee, I love that. I love that. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this stencil because y'all, I got things to say about the stencil. So I am giving away one kit. I'm also giving away a Try Me kit that was part of our Tiffany Thiessen release that came out shortly after Peanuts. So I got two giveaways. So stay active in those comments, and we will talk about the Tiffany release at some point. Hopefully, I need to write that down. And also, before I forget, I wanted to make sure to tell everybody we have, hey Debbie, hey Barbara, we have new Peanuts transfers coming on Tuesday. So some of you all may know that the first set of Peanuts transfers, there were 6 of them, sold out in an hour and a half. I'm surprised we didn't break the internet. And I will know Monday evening what new transfers are going to come out. And I will be sharing that Monday evening with my VIP group, which there should be a pinned post in the comments on how to join my VIP group. So while I am on the Zoom with Chalk, seeing all the new stuff, I'm going to be screenshotting that and sharing that with my VIP group. And then Tuesday morning, when everything goes live, I will be posting all of that. So if you want some extra sneak peeks, you can join my VIP group. I don't know how many. I think there's probably going to be 6, like the first release. And I'm guessing they probably stocked up. Hey, Carol, how are you? But who knows, because these were so crazy popular. So, all right. So everybody who ordered a kit or does order a kit, because I do still have some, will get this classic. What's this called? Classic Minis transfer. So you've got all of your characters and then just some designs. And of course, you've got Charlie Brown's little chevron on his shirt and just some polka dots and straight lines. And then you got 3 card bases, just a kraft brown, and then yellow and blue. And then just some cardstock, some white and blue cardstock, some brads, some little cutouts. So we got some grass and a sunshine And I hope everybody got 3 pieces of the sunshine. There should have been a little orange circle too, dark orange circle. I think somebody might have gotten 2 because I didn't have one left. Hey Myrna, how are you? So they're, those pieces are tiny. And then where'd it go? And then there is a stencil. I just saw it. I have one too, but I didn't put it in the little, oh, there it is. And then everybody got a stencil made out of acetate paper that we are going to use on the Linus card. So there were 3 cards, one with Charlie Brown, one with Woodstock and Snoopy, and one with Linus and his security blanket. Okay, so I talked about giveaways. I told you all I still have kits left. I told you all about the Peanuts release. And if you want that sneak peek Monday evening, you can hop into my VIP group. Okay, so we'll talk about a couple other things as we go. We're going to do the Charlie Brown card first because he's the fastest. Hey, Rochelle. And I should probably save him for last, but we're going to do him first. And I might as well use the one I opened. I'm going to end up losing the stencil because it's clear. Okay, there we go. So for Charlie Brown, we just had this little yellow card. And I think I don't remember how I did my sample cards, but it doesn't matter. And then I took his little chevron design and I ran it across the top and the bottom, and we just put him in the middle. Now, I have to say, watching before Passover starts. Oh, that's right. That's right. I know Easter's next week. I lost track. Well, thank you for taking the time to be here today and watch. I appreciate that. And how much time do you have? How many more hours do you have in New Jersey? So it's 3 o'clock in New Jersey. So you've got a couple hours. Oh, Mom used to call me her Snoopy. Oh, Rochelle, I love that so much. That's so sweet. Oh, I love that. I'm going to actually cut out the second one here because I'm going to utilize that. But I did the chevrons across the top and the bottom because I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of space. Hi, Renee. Oh, sunny California. Nice. It's actually sunny here in central Illinois too, so I'm excited. It's kind of chilly, but I'll take the sunshine because it's been rainy and dreary. Hi, Diane. But I'm going to use this one to make this go a little faster. I wanted to make sure that Charlie was centered in the middle and that I also had plenty of room for the chevrons. So I didn't want it to be a situation where I put Charlie Brown on in the wrong place and then went to do the chevrons and didn't have enough room. So we're going to do that first. And actually, so everybody got black ink. I also did want to say, if you open your black ink and it is not black, please let me know. And I will please send that sunshine to Ohio. Tina, I will do my best. I will replace it. So every once in a while we get packages of ink that are, I don't know why it happens. I don't know if in production they run out of the packaging itself, or there's a mix-up when they are putting the ink in the package. But we'll get a package of ink that's got the black across the top, but there's something at the bottom that says it's a different color. No big deal, totally fine. But when I ordered supplies for these cards and I was getting all the black inks together, normally the black ink says black velvet across the top. Okay. So I was noticing that I had some inks that did not say black velvet across the top and had, a different color label on the bottom. A couple of things of Dune that were like that. And then I had some that did not say black velvet across the top, but also did not have a label across the bottom. And I was like, okay, I'm going to trust that these are black, but I don't want to open them all to check because that would make it really potentially messy for shipping. So I wanted to make sure just to tell everybody, if you open your black paste pack and it is not black, let me know and I will send you one that is really black ink or black paste. But I'm going to use my shimmer shadow here. I had this out for a little project I was working on before I got started. And when I make t-shirts, I am very much a fan of glitter heat transfer vinyl and shimmer chalk paste is like the equivalent of glitter heat transfer vinyl for me. So I did not fuzz this because it's little and because I've used it a couple of times. Also, these cards kind of have a coating on them. It's not quite the same kind of coating as the chalk suede paper. Some of you might remember from the Christmas card class I did. Was that November of last year? The cards that you all got were made out of that chalk suede. And you really don't have to wax that because it's designed for the paste not to lift up. But these cards are nice and have a nice coating on them too. Now, if this was just regular cardstock, I would be, or especially the heavy cardstock, because the other cardstock that I sent you, we shouldn't really need to wax on that either. So I'm just taking and making these little chevrons. And we are going to set this aside. I'm going to clean that in just 1 second. So in my sample card, what did I do with that? Should be around here somewhere. Here it is. So in my sample card, and I think I mentioned this in the promo video, I had some paste left here, and that was because when I put the transfer down to do this part, this was still wet. And so the transfer laid on top of it and it pulled that up. Now that is an easy fix. You can either put the transfer down on top of it, wash it, put it back down on top once this is dry and go over that, or even go over it with a paintbrush. But I wanted to make sure to leave it like this so I could point that out. Barbara, do we wipe the chevron off before we place it back down? So I did not on the back side. I was just really careful. Now I wiped it off on the front, mostly because I needed to be able to kind of push it down onto the card base so I didn't have any bubbles. And I didn't want to do that with my fingers because then I was going to end up with paste all over my fingers. I'm going to show you how to clean a transfer in between uses here in 1 second. I am going to take my drying tool very gently I don't want to get too terribly close to that card. I'm going to take that tool and dry that just a smidge so that I can take this other transfer, benefits of having more than one, and line it up and finish out our chevron. Now, two won't cut it all the way across the card unless you start a little bit over and just have an edge. We'll need a little bit of a third pass, and we will use I'll clean that other transfer and we'll do that. The other thing that you could do is, mix and match your colors here. So you could do black, and then you could do white, and then you could do black again. And then obviously there's all kinds of things you could use these little designs for, these little chevron designs. Be really cute for all kinds of things. So I'm going to try and line this up a smidge. Let's see. Nope, don't want to go that way. I'm going to go this way. So I'm going to line this up here so that we have a repeating pattern. And hope that that is dry enough that when I pull that up, it's not going to peel up any of that paste. I could put a little surface wax down over that first black chevron row that we did. Chalk makes a surface wax that is intended to help keep paste from lifting. It's nice to use on wood, especially if it's rough. If you are KL, I love Charlie Brown too. And I'm really excited about this release because I am hoping that, we're all anticipating that come fall, we get Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, we get like Charlie Brown Christmas, all the things. So we're all kind of excited about that. What was I saying? I was talking about the surface wax. Oh, if you are chalking over chalk paste or acrylic paint, I recommend using the surface wax, although you've all probably seen me not do that. And sometimes I get lucky and sometimes I don't. And if you're chalking on like heavy cardstock, textured cardstock, you really do want to use that surface wax. Otherwise, the back of these transfers, because they're sticky, will end up pulling up your paper. And I apologize. I just kind of got started here and didn't even talk about what these materials are that I'm using. So I will do that here in 1 second when we get started on Charlie. But these are silk. Well, I can do it now. I can talk and do this at the same time. You all know this. These are silk screen transfers. And just like a stencil concept, but they are sticky on the back. So I didn't get that one lined up quite perfectly, but that's okay. You could actually go in with a paintbrush and add that in, or a paint pen or anything like that, and fill in that gap if you really wanted. And they're sticky on the back. Hey, Lydia and Marianne. Oh, I love the little dancing Snoopy. They're sticky on the back, and you have mesh in the negative space, so that keeps the paste from like bleeding all the way through and going underneath your design. Renee, so if you want the whole kit, I still have them on my Etsy store, and I'll post a link for that. And then I will also post a link to my chalk site for these stencils. So the stencils come from Chalk Couture. We entered into a licensing agreement with Peanuts It's their 75th anniversary, so you might be seeing a lot of collaborations between Peanuts and other companies because everybody, yes, warm and fuzzy memories, Tina, definitely. So you have a lot of a lot of people, looking at this and being like, oh, let's do some Peanut stuff because it's their anniversary and let's celebrate that. And so I've already started seeing different things come out, but this is our first line of transfers. I don't really even know if I need to clean that much. So if you need to use a transfer quickly and don't really have time to wash it off with water, you can use a Clorox wipe. And you're really just trying to get it's messy. It's messy. So Penny, you want to go to chocolate.com/Girl Friday Crafts. That is actually me. That is my chalk site. And when you go to shop now, you should see a whole section that's dedicated for Peanuts. And everything is there. And then all the new stuff, that's where the new stuff will be Tuesday morning. So doing what I just did is kind of messy. I don't like to do it with larger transfers because it's harder to do. With the smaller transfers, I don't mind it so much because it's a little bit easier. But you absolutely can do that. Now, I usually keep water with me so I can wash something really quickly as well. And then if you have a terry cloth towel, this is our chalk fuzzing cloth, you can use that to dry a transfer if you need to. So that's another option. All right, now I'm getting, so we're going to line this up again. And put this down here so that it's sticking to that and not to my desk. So you can use these transfers on anything. We kind of always joke and say if it doesn't move, you can chalk on it. There is a line of inks that you can use for textiles if you want to make something machine washable. So my t-shirt was done with Chocolate ink, and you can do that on tea towels and pillowcases. I actually just did a pillowcase yesterday. I have decided to make myself crazy, and we are celebrating our Club Couture program this month. And we have this cute little fresh strawberries club kit. New club members this month get 5 free retired club transfers when they sign up, and continuing or existing club members get 5 free transfers when they place a $60 order. I think that's right. I know the order thing's right, the dollar amount, I don't remember. And so I have challenged myself to do a project a day for the rest of the month. So KL, the kit for the cards is on my Etsy store. So that is Girl Friday Crafts if you go on Etsy and search by shop. But I can post a link to the kit when we are done with the class as well, because I do still have kits left. So I'm doing a project a day with the April Club kit. And so yesterday's project was a little lumbar pillow. It's really cute. But I'm like, what have I gotten myself into and why? Because it's not like anybody challenged me to do this. The club, it's $21.99 a month. You get everything you need for the project. So you get the transfer, which is reusable. You get a surface. You get multiple paste packs in whatever colors the design team chose for the club project. And then your first time that you get your first club kit, you get a squeegee, but your designer is always good for squeegee. So I always tell customers, don't ever hesitate to reach out to me if you need tools, because I always have some. I mean, you can order them off the site, but if you don't want to place an order off the site just for a couple of tools, I'll send you some squeegees. I got you covered. So it's $21.99 a month. If you are a Perks member, which is I don't know, like, we don't like to say VIP because we love all of our customers. We don't like to say preferred shopper because we love all of our customers, but it's kind of that. It's $20 a month. You get that back in product credit, and you shop at a 30% discount all the time, and that includes your club kit. So Perks members get 30% off their club subscription. So for Perks members, it's like 17 something a month. Okay, so was I completely off camera doing that, you all? I am terrible. I am so sorry. I'm just sitting here talking. I'm not looking at the camera. So I finished, I think I was all the way down here. So I finished the chevron and I added Charlie. So I'm going to really make sure that I stay here. So sorry about that. Just talking away. And so maybe I can't talk and do this at the same time. Actually, we're going to try him real quick. Yes, it is a great deal with the free transfers. And I'll tell you something, Laura Lee. I had somebody sign up the other day. I had a new club member, and she messaged me, and she's like, "So, if I place a $60 order, will I get the other 5 free transfers?" I was like, "Yep, you absolutely will." So you can join club. Pay. I think you pay for 3 months at a time. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But I think you pay for 3 months at first, and then you can cancel anytime. At least that's how it was when I joined club years ago before I was a designer. I should know, but I don't. So she signed up, and she's like, "Okay, I got my free transfer." She's like, "So I can place the $60 order and get the other ones, because it's a separate set of transfers." And I was like, "Yep, you absolutely can." So she's got 10 free transfers coming for all of like $70 or something, $80, something like that. And they're B size transfers, which are like $16 regular retail. So that's a very good deal. The drying tool. Let's see. What kind of drying tool is this? I can send you all a link to this. Got it off Amazon. It says Chandler tool. They look a little different now. I just put a link to one of these in a YouTube video I did the other day. So I think they've kind of remodeled them, because there's actually all kinds of colors and stuff now that weren't there when I bought mine. It has 2 different heat settings, which is nice. So the lower setting is quieter. The higher setting's really loud, but I don't often have to use that unless I am trying to really dry acrylic paint. All right, so Charlie's done. I got a smidge of black on there from my fingers. So, but he's finished. Isn't he cute? I just think that's so cute. I'm hoping we get a little mini one that says "Good Grief." I mean, we really need something with Charlie that's a good grape. It's just not peanuts if you don't have that. And then I'm really hoping we get the psychiatrist is in something or other with Lucy in it. All right, so that's one card down. Let's see. Oh, I am good. Okay. Let's do the Snoopy and Woodstock because I want to show you all how you can chop on a transfer backwards so that you get the reverse image. This is not something I do very often, so I was almost like, I don't want to do this today, but it's really all about technique. So this is the, should have just grabbed them all. So this is the sample for this one that I did. I cut the grass out and I made the grass a little bit taller this time for everybody's kit, and then made sure to make it a little bit longer on the card so that when you can take it all the way to the edge and just trim it off. So you've got that. And then it looks more like they're actually standing in the grass. And then I used a different sun shape than I have here. And so we are going to put that one over here. And I'm going to get Snoopy. Or did I get these out already? Oh, there they are. Thought I got them out already. So we're going to get Snoopy and Woodstock. And I'm going to just leave the card flat because that will make it easier. And I'm not going to add any of the elements until they're done. Till I'm done here. So we're going to take Woodstock and you're going to turn him around so that it is sticky side up. Now, the trick here is keeping it in place. Actually, the first trick is getting my fingers off of it. There. All right, so I'm going to use some of our transfer tape. This is good for masking or for holding things in place, which is what I'm getting ready to do right now. You can also use painter's tape. That'll work fine. But I'm going to use some of this transfer tape so that I can hold the transfer down, because obviously that's what the sticky does. If you don't have the sticky, it's liable to move on you. And then you want to make sure you get it really good and flat so that you don't have bubbles, which is also what the tape helps to do. All right, so then I'm going to take some Woodstock. So our color of the month last month was Woodstock. So every month we have a color of the month. Sometimes we get them back permanently, sometimes not. I would love it if whatever Peanuts themed pastes or inks they come out with, they keep them in the permanent collection. And then you're going to do this exactly the same as you would if it was sticky side down. So you're just going to apply your paste and squeegee off your excess. And I'm going to hold on to that because I'm not sure that I'm done with my Woodstock. And then we're going to peel up nice and slow. So there you've got Woodstock. And I'm going to take this tape off. And I keep a, hey Marianne, I keep a water bath next to me so that I can drop my transfers in. So you just wash the transfers with water. You can use a magic eraser. Sometimes all you really need is your fingers, especially if you get them in water right away. We do have, we call them board erasers because some of the chalk surfaces are reusable. And I like our board erasers. I think they work better than magic erasers, but a magic eraser will work just fine. And like I said, sometimes I just need to get it underwater and get it my fingers, and that'll get the paste or ink out. So I'm going to dry him a smidge, and then we're going to take Snoopy, and we're going to put Snoopy on so that he is looking down at Woodstock. So that reverse technique is great if you're trying to do something like this, if you want to get the mirror image of something. It's kind of cool because you can do it. What's the difference between the paste and the ink? So the ink is designed to be used with textiles. So once the ink is heat set, it's permanent. The paste is not permanent. And heat setting it will not make it so. So that's really the biggest difference. You can ink on anything. And so I have done cards with ink as opposed to paste. But you cannot paste on anything because it won't stay if it gets washed. So that's pretty much the difference. Now I will say this, we have more paste colors than we do ink colors, although they are starting to kind of increase the number of ink colors we have. We've had a couple of club projects recently that were ink projects and not paste projects. Our March club was a burlap bag with a bunny transfer for Easter. Really, really cute. And so we got ink with that. We had in our spring release, we had 3 new ink colors come out. So that's been a designer request for a while that we get more ink colors. You're welcome. And a customer request too. But we have a lot of designers that like to do textiles and t-shirts. And so having new colors is always fun, especially in the shimmers. I'm always looking for more shimmer ink colors. All right, so now we've got Snoopy and Woodstock, and we are going to dry Snoopy. Thank you. I think that I love that they what it looks like with them looking at each other. That's just perfect. And I didn't think to do that when I did the promo. And so then I was like, oh, we're going to do that in the class so that I can show that reverse technique. And then that way they're looking at each other. Snoopy has that somewhat disapproving look on his face that he often has when it comes to Woodstock. And then we're going to put our little sunshine up here. And then in the kit, you should have had, and then any new orders, I'll make sure they have, you should have had the sunshine and then a circle that's the same color as the sunshine and then a smaller circle that's like a darker orange in case you wanted to make like a layered sun. Or you could just put the orange circle in the middle and you would have a little gap in between, which also looks really cute. But I don't know what happened to my orange circle. I might very well not have remembered to cut my orange circle. So, there's that possibility. So we're going to get that glue down. And then I was trying to figure out, I still haven't quite figured out, I wanted something up here, like wording. I wanted some sort of phrase up here. And I kept going back and forth. And so I'm still thinking about that. And, that might just end up being dependent on what I decide to use the card for at the end of the day. Look through my stamps and see what I've got. Or, cut something out and put it up there. I have a girlfriend who's a huge Peanuts fan. So this might hold on to this until her birthday and then put something accordingly at the top. And so then everybody got a little bit of grass. Well, that's interesting. This piece is not. I wonder if this is one of the original pieces that I cut that wasn't long enough. Everybody's piece hopefully covered end to end on the card and had a little bit of excess. That was my plan. Where are my little scissors? I could have used score tape for that too, but the glue was handy. So we're just going to turn this over and trim off just that little bit of grass that's up to the edges there. The other thing that you could do, I might have to try this and see what it looks like, is you could take a sponge dauber or a blending brush and some green ink and, create some grass out of your ink there, and then put this down on top of it so that you would have, some green in the background in these pieces that are cut out. And then apparently where I didn't cut them long enough to go all the way off the edges. So yeah, all kinds of fun things you could do with this. And that's also why I sent the brads. So that, if you wanted to add a little brad element somewhere, little yellow in the middle of the sun, or some green down at the bottom, or something up in this corner. Actually, a little brad up in that corner would probably look cute. See what that looks like. Get my little crocodile here. A little farther over. Maybe. Just pop a little green brad in there. See if I put that far enough over that the ends will stay. Yep. And you could actually do, yellow around it. You could create a little circle there, just a little something, or do a row, down or across. Oh, that would actually look really cute. So do like a little row, like a couple more here and a couple more here, just to create a little border there. All right, so there's card number 2. And now it's time for Linus. This one was really fun. This one spurred me into thinking about something different. But man, oh man, do I have a story for you all. So this is my sample, and I hand wrote this just because I wanted a little something on it other than that. And, my thinking was, okay, I'm going to give you all something. Yeah, Marna, I like that border idea too. I might have to go back and do that. I think that's cute. I was going to give you all something to use to create lettering. So I thought about that and I thought about that. And I didn't want to cut letters out of cardstock because sometimes even when you weld them together so that it's all one cut and not individual letters, it just does weird things. So those of you who have a Cricut or Cameo know what I'm talking about. If you don't have a cutting machine, I apologize because I'm going to be speaking a different language here. And so it's like, okay, let me try to make a stencil. And so I busted out the acetate paper, which is what this is. And I made a stencil. And I was like, okay, like I like this. Now, the letters aren't perfect. Like the O doesn't have the center, right? To make it. It's just completely open. But that's okay. Like I was totally okay with that. I can figure out how to mess around with the fonts and things like that to do that differently. I was like, all right. So I used the acetate paper and I used a sponge dauber and some ink to put that on a card just to see how it worked. And it worked okay, except that the acetate paper doesn't have the smoothest finish on the cut. So for those of you who've played with your kit, when you run your fingers over this, it's a little rough. And so while doing that once on my, with a sponge dauber or a blending brush wasn't going to hurt anything, repeated use, I was like, that's going to hurt something. That's going to end up hurting, that could end up damaging a blending brush or a sponge dauber. So I decided I wanted to try Mylar paper because that's what, yeah, I didn't think so, Laura Lee. Like, I want to play with my Cameo because you can do some things with Cameo that you can't do with Cricut in terms of that level of detail, but I'm still not sure that I can do that either. I need to reach out to Melissa, my go-to Cameo person. So I was like, I'm going to try Mylar paper because that's what stencils are made out of, really, is Mylar. Oh, y'all. Okay, so I'm on my third different type of blade. I have gone through one whole sheet of Mylar paper with nothing to show for it other than a very nice layer of cut for the design. I cannot get my Cameo to cut through that Mylar paper all the way to save my life. And now I'm just being stubborn about it. Like now it's just a mission. And so I have one more type of blade to try. So I have a subscription to what is called Silhouette University. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Melissa Viscount. If you have a Cameo, you probably know who she is. So she has a membership kind of thing, but she'll do, she does tutorials. You get one-on-one tech support with her. And I have been emailing with her about this for like 2 weeks. So we've gone through everything I've done. And she's like, okay, try the purple blade, which is the deep cut blade. And I will. Because if I don't, I'll always wonder whether or not it would have worked. But if I can't get that to work, then acetate paper it is. And that's okay. So I want to make sure that my blue cardstock, which is where Linus is going to go, is centered really well. So I'm going to do this first, and this is Tim Holtz Prize Ribbon blue. And keep everything with Linus blue. Okay, watching my time here. And then so we're just gonna take, and these actually clean up really well too. I was pleased. The one I made as a sample, when I took it upstairs, I mean the ink just washed right off. So I was pretty happy about that too. So those of you who have the kit, if you try the stencil, please let me know what you think. You can message me on Facebook. You can email me. It's whitney@girlfridaycrafts.com. You can go back into, you can go back into your order on Etsy and send me a message. I would just love to know, like, how is it working for you? That sort of thing. Obviously not your, really professional grade stencils, but they're kind of fun. All right. Get this on here. A little crooked. Overthinking it. Go figure. This transfer tape helps here too because it's not super sticky. It's just enough that it will hold this in place while you're doing what you need to do. So we're gonna get this on here. And then I'm doing this a little different than the sample, so I'm adding that extra layer of cardstock. And I'm going to chalk Linus on that. Well, we're going to try something. I'm going to chalk Linus on it in the April color of the month because I just want to see how blue on blue looks. So it's a navy blue. It's called Home. The Patriotic collection just released last week, and the color of the month was done to correspond with that. So it's a really perfect blue for any sort of 4th of July kind of crafting. So if you do your porch, or if you have people over and you like to have, themed table decor. They actually came out with a melamine, I can't say that right, melamine platter that one of the transfers fits into. That's going to be really cute. I have loved this and will be signing up for a club. Can't wait to do that strawberry project. It is super cute. I'm going to make sure that I show you all the pillow that I did last night with it. It's funny to me, like, I really just was not feeling it when I first saw it. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll get my one and that's fine. And then I started seeing everybody's projects with it and I was like, oh, this is so cute. All right, so we got the stencil on there. I got a little bit of ink on that side, so we're going to turn him over. And use my glue here. Oops, that was a lot of glue. Where's the paintbrush? So you all know this, I usually use score tape. I don't know why I don't know. I'm in a glue kind of mood today, I guess. But I have a tendency to really use too much and then it ends up going everywhere. So I have learned that paintbrushes, very small paintbrush, when I am playing with glue, is my new best friend. So we're going to put that down. The other thing, I'm going to say this before I forget. One of the other things that you can do with this that's really fun is, you could take either acrylic paint or chalk paste a paintbrush, and you can dry brush it or use a little bit of water and watercolor it. And, you could paint Linus in. You could paint in his security blanket in a blue. You could paint his skin. You could paint his shoes and his shirt. Really fun stuff. All right, drop that in my water. And okay, so this is the color of the month for April. This is called Home. And it's a matte blue, no shimmer or anything, no shimmer or metallic. But it is a really, really super pretty, let me do that carefully, navy blue. And I just want to see what that looks like on top of this. I was gonna originally do him in vanilla, which I like. It's one of my new favorite colors. Sometimes you just don't want white, you just don't want bright white, and so I like the vanilla for this. But I'm gonna fuzz him. Now this cardstock is very nice and smooth, and so, especially because I've used this transfer a couple of times, I don't really feel like I need to put any surface wax on this. Now, if this was a textured cardstock, if this was a larger transfer, sometimes that matters because larger transfers have more sticky surface and they take a little bit longer. So you're going to have that transfer sitting on paper a little bit longer. To wax or not to wax is really a something that kind of comes with using the product and a little bit of personal preference. You don't ever want to use wax on glass or acrylic because it will leave a film that you can't get off. But it really is good for wood, rough wood surfaces, and it's really good to use if you're chalking on top of chalk or acrylic paint. I do find that really is helpful. Unless I have let the paint sit for like 24 hours and really cure, which I'm very bad about. I'll be like, oh, I want to paint this. Oh, wait, I need to do the project now, and I didn't paint it. Oh, yeah, that's cute. Oh, I like that better than I would have the vanilla. Definitely the right call. So you've got that just nice little, not black, right? So you don't have that deep, dark black. He just fits in there really well. Monochromatic, but not dull. And then what I want to do with him is I wanted to add some brads. I was thinking, I can't decide. I either wanted to add, and y'all let me know what you think. I didn't know. I wanted to either add brads in the corners of the white cardstock or in the corners of this blue cardstock. I'm leaning towards the corners of the white just to give it a little more contrast. What do y'all think about that? Thank you all very much. All right, so we are going to, yeah, the white. Yeah, that's what I think too, Barbara. So we're gonna, now I can never, unless I measure and, which I'm not gonna do right now, and, put dots on the paper, I can never get these lined up evenly. So we'll see how off these end up being. Hey Jane, how are you? Hey Laura. Well, if I can hold on to them with my fingers here. And I know, so, I did a poll on this project, and thank you all very much for participating. You helped me decide. And I know some of you had expressed interest in doing a tote bag class with either the Grouchy Sense Forever, the shirt that I have on, or the Positive Vibes transfer. And so I am trying to look at my calendar and find a date when I can do a workshop for that. But also, since I knew that we were getting more peanuts transfers, I was like, okay, well, let me wait and see what comes out. Because there might be something a little more seasonal that people might want to do. And trying to line these up in some fashion. I know he's so cute. He's just so cute. I love the little security blanket. And we've got Schroeder, and I'm hoping that we also get Schroeder with his piano. Yep, those outer corners were definitely the way to go with that. And then everybody got some ribbon with their kit as well. And I tried to give you enough that if you wanted to, glue ribbon around the bottom and secure it to the back, you would have enough to do that. Or even just, you could put a little ribbon around the edge of Linus. Or if you didn't want to use the wording, you could put a little ribbon on the card around the outer edge of the blue cardstock. Yeah, so he's super cute too. All right, so this line them all up. I think this is the first time I have ever gotten completely done. Nope, that's not the one we did today. Where's the one we did today? Here it is. And I have 6 minutes to spare, so I can show you all the strawberry stuff I've been doing. So there's our cards for today. Snoopy and Woodstock, that's just super cute. They're all just adorable and so much fun. People have been chalking these on white canvas tennis shoes, or inking them really on white canvas tennis shoes. And that is just absolutely adorable. So, down the side, a couple of the characters down one side and a couple more down the other. Or, somebody just did Snoopy and Woodstock. All right, so I'm going to come over here real quick. And I'm going to turn my, let me grab this first. I'm going to turn my front-facing camera back on so I can show you all this pillow. Okay, so this is the pillow that I made yesterday with the fresh strawberries transfer which is the April Club kit. So this is the chalk lumbar pillow cover. We have lumbar pillow covers and then just standard like 18 by 18, I think. I need to put a little more polyfill in it. So this is black, and this is Love Struck, which was the color of the month, but this also looks really cute with cherry. And then this is Pucker Ink, which is a yellow shimmer. And then this is Gravity. And then I think the strawberries are also Love Struck. And then just black to do the seeds. And then I don't know where my first project for this was. And then this is what I started on today. So this is just a square chalkable shape. And I took the strawberries off from the April Club transfer. And actually, I'm going to do this. I took the strawberries from the April Club transfer and put them on this square in a color called Greige. And then this is from the Spring Postage Stamps transfer. And why is that backwards? Well, I shouldn't be seeing that backwards. That's weird. You all should be seeing that the right way, and you're not. Okay, don't get obsessed by that now. That's a little late. And put that on top, and that's in the shimmer shadow. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some of the strawberries out of chalk suede paper and cut them out. And I'm going to do that in red and green and attach them here so that we have like something that kind of pops off and then has a little bit of that color. So I'm excited about that. I think it's cute. We're going to see how my brain is working after I've done this for like 5 days or 6 days in a row. If I'm running out of projects, like what have I done? But that's okay. Actually, I keep coming up with things and I keep seeing things that other people have done. So I'll stay inspired. But it's good to challenge myself like that. I need to do that sometimes and try to do something different. So, okay. So thank you all for watching. I have like 2 minutes. Let's see and make sure I told you all everything. Craft Fancy is next to finish us out. I will announce giveaways here in a little bit. So I have one club kit one kit and one triming kit that will have a surface and a transfer from the Tiffany Thiessen collection that came out in March. I do have card kits still available, so I'll put the link for that as well as the Club Couture link. If anybody has any questions, you can just throw them in the comments. I'll go back after everything later this evening and make sure I respond to everything. Thank you all so much. Yeah, I thought I had the camera flipped so that you all were seeing it my way, but I guess I didn't. So yeah, I will see you all. I think we're back in June. So everybody have a good weekend and a good Easter, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.